Hey everybody, this is Mate Kure, and this is the third video in my Fantasy Grounds Syrinscape Sound Links series, where I am going over the setup, install, and configuration, how to use my extension for Fantasy Grounds. This is video 3, where I will be going over the setup for Syrinscape Fantasy and Sci-Fi players. And in the last video, I covered how to set up the Syrinscape online player. So the first thing you need to do is, of course, download and make sure you have the player installed. So we'll come here to the download section of the Syrinscape webpage and go ahead and download the Windows client for either the Fantasy or the Sci-Fi player. Install that and get it configured with your account. Once you've done that, you can run it and you'll be able to see the Syrinscape interface here I've got displayed currently. Uh, One of the big differences between the fantasy player and the online player is that the fantasy player stores the sound files locally, whereas the online player stores them kind of in the cloud and just streams them on demand. So it's very important, if you're going to be using the fantasy or sci-fi players, to download the sounds you want to use first. So for example, I have this Bugbear Battle sound set downloaded, but I do not have any of the other sound sets downloaded. So if I attempt to trigger them in my Fantasy Grounds extension, they just won't play back anything. It'll just be silent. However, once I got them installed here, you can and downloaded, you can play the sound just like that. All right, so let's go ahead and set up in Fantasy Grounds. So within Fantasy Grounds, to use the Fantasy player or the Sci-Fi player, we're going to come in here to our options again and come down to Syrinscape. And under player type, select genre. Genre is for all of the fantasy, sci-fi, and board game players. And that's really the only setup you need to do. Um, Once that is set up, then you can go ahead and begin playbacks for sounds that are located in there. So in that case, we were using the Bugbear Battle. Most of these links will not work because I don't have the sounds downloaded, but I can filter by my sound set. So let's find this Bugbear Battle. Here's a Bugbear Battle. And then I should be able to select, like we just heard, Victory. And this is playing back in the, let me trigger it again, and you'll see that it is not playing back in the online player. And if I close the online player, it is only playing back in the fantasy player. And that's all you need to do to set it up for the Syrinscape fantasy or sci-fi players or board game player. Um, the next video, we will cover finding the sounds, using them, filtering things, and how you can use it during gameplay. Thank you.